Sagittarius, what's going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages. So let's get into it. Happy day. Happy new week or weekend, whenever you're watching this. We're in Gemini season. We had a full moon in Sagittarius this week. Things have been a little bit tense, more tense than usual, but silver lining is all the elements are kind of equally balanced out. Yeah, some days certain ones take over, but in reality, like, the value of this means that when we're kind of navigating some of the more difficult things, situations, people, etc., it's easier to tap into the energies that we need to be, i.e. not so emotional, reactionary, etc. Like finding ways to ground and stabilize, or think through the problem, process through, or be a little more empathetic if that's what it's required. It's not always the easiest thing to do, right? Because that full moon in Sagittarius is fire energy, and it does bring up a lot, just like a lot of sadness, a lot of disappointment. Jupiter and Saturn are tensely aspected, so our ability to feel abundant, fortunate, etc. is really counteracted by these lessons that we need to learn, which is annoying, right? Like, we want to enjoy life. We want to have fun. A lot of what is popping up is in places that we're not necessarily expecting, or we really just thought it was going to look different than what it actually does. So that's why I like to start these readings off with an energy cleansing. Just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out some of those areas of block limitation we're coming into. It's a great time to set your own intention for the reading as well, Sagittarius. Especially if you did come into this reading with something on your heart, on your mind, something that you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around, definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a really great way, to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services, and readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, etc. Or if you are just looking for more of a rebalancing of self, alignment of your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're feeling strong in self, that's really where we're manifesting our abundance. And it's been really tricky lately, right, to just find that grounding, especially through the change, through the transformation that's kind of being forced upon us. So I would love to help support in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, with that, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it, from our being, so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. Mama love. All right, Sagittarius, there's like so many messages going for you. Like, I'm hearing like you are ready. Like, you're finally, it's not this value of everything's like perfect and fine, but you feel ready for something. You feel like you're finally in a place where you learned some lessons, you learned some hard lessons. It wasn't easy specifically, but you're in this mode of like, I can conquer anything, right? Like, if I could get over that, then I can do whatever that proverbial fantasy or goal that you're setting into place, or I don't know, just a way to kind of level up, upgrade your life, etc. I'm hearing that like you, perhaps this isn't a message for everybody, but as I was preparing for this reading, I was hearing there is this like strong mother wound, right? Like, and again, this might not resonate with everybody, but it feels this heavy energy of either someone just constantly putting you down or not believing in you or not even wanting you, right? Like, or you getting those messages in your childhood. And it's made you live in a lot of shame. That's what I'm hearing. Maybe wherever that wound came from. But mother wounds, like if we think about who mothers are or are, you know, whatever that figure, that maternal figure was in your life, it's like that is the person who's supposed to build our sense of support, stability, feeling like we're going to be okay, right? Like there's a safety net underneath us, even if the world gets so bad. And when we don't have that backing from our own mother, or there's issues on that end, it can be really overwhelming, right? Like it can kind of be, I feel like in a lot of ways, like it's made you into the person that you are. You're showing up as like a lover, as a giver, as someone who maybe is overcompensating a little bit. Don't hate me for saying that, but just from whatever this thing is, like maybe where you did not get the love, right, is what I'm hearing. And I feel like you're sidestepping some of this stuff. This week, I think that's actually a good thing. Like, I kind of feel like you need a break. You need a break. And again, there is this level of empowerment that you're feeling, which I think is really important. I feel like you're doing a lot of interpersonal healing, whether you even understand it as that or not, whether it's intentional or not. There's a lot that's coming up for you that I think it does have its level of overwhelmment, but it's also okay, right? Like when we are called to soften, sometimes we can get so just like in that value of like black and white thinking, like good, bad, right, wrong, whatever that is, right? This value of like having to compartmentalize everything and not having any shades of gray. And that actually kind of makes us really hard, really rigid. It puts us in a position where sometimes it works. Sometimes we need to operate in that way. But sometimes we do need to soften and just be a little bit more comfortable living in the gray. Actually, I think most of life is in the gray. But what I'm hearing for you specifically, Sagittarius, is this is just kind of like based on where you're coming from, who and what you've been dealing with, the way it's hurt you, the way it's affected you, etc. And what Spirit's actually kind of like calling you towards this next week. There is a lot of downtime. I mean, I think this is just happening all across the board. In the collective is what I'm talking about. Like the astrology has been very much in this, like everything's taking for effing ever, you know? Like, I mean, it's just, we can't push things forward right now because we're just going to end up with something or someone that we don't even want to be involved with in like 3-6 months, whatever. So there is really this call to be patient, or to just kind of, if you do have to take on something that you know is going to be short-lived, making sure that you're like keeping up your boundaries. But here's the thing, I that's whatever, whomever that's for. But I feel like you're kind of in this place where I think you're sidestepping this week. It's important to kind of give yourself a break. I feel like you do need to process through some of what you've been through, some of the situations that you've been through, the people, places, and things that you've had to deal with. I'm hearing like you've spent a lot of time kind of building your foundation. You have it now. You feel like you accomplished something. You do feel empowered, but it also feels like there's still like a lot of legwork in front of you for whatever reason. And I'm hearing that like this is kind of like a rebalancing of your energy. Maybe when you were in this mode of giving, you were kind of like overextending yourself, right? So Spirit's like asking you to take a break, or it's important to take a break, remembering you probably have a little bit more time than what you even think, right? I'm laughing because to me this is annoying. Like, just, I don't know. That fire energy in me like wants things to be like, you know, done and on to the next thing. But again, we're being asked, required to exercise patience and stability, because it's a lot about how we are being supported. How we're being supported. And I'm almost hearing like maybe you Ooh, I like this energy. Maybe you have not really had that support, or you haven't had it in a long time. And it definitely looks like something new is in the works. I feel like this is something that's completely unexpected, Sagittarius. This is a really good effing energy. This is like someone who's coming in and saying like, hey, I got your back. Whatever you've been through, whatever you're going through, like, I am not gonna leave you or whatever, like those other people situations, right? This is someone who's actually kind of providing an opportunity for you to escape. And you know, I don't know. I mean, you have a lot of connection to this person. I'm seeing you as being a little bit more on the hesitant. Like, this is someone who's like ready to offer you something right off the bat. Like, this feels like someone who's very sure. You know, they know you, whether it's whatever, a few interactions, a few conversations, a few dates. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it definitely has those vibes if you're looking for partnership, relationship. This again is also someone who's really willing to, like I said, come in and support you to whatever capacity you need. And I feel like you are hesitant. I feel like people, especially new people, are a little bit hard to trust because you've been badly burned, because you're all about like, let's be practical, let's have some conversations. Like, you want to vet someone or something. And the way that you do that is by like these kind of very practical approaches is what I'm seeing, Sagittarius. You know, it's kind of just like, do you have A, B, and C like together in your life or whatever? And then like, what are you really saying? Like, I'm hearing you're almost reading between the lines a little bit. And again, not good, bad, right, or wrong. I think you might have a little bit of a rough exterior for someone. They're more emotional. I mean, I think they get it. This to me feels like a really patient energy for you. This is someone who is willing. Like, there's a lot of openness. There's a lot of like, hey, if you want to tell me, I'm willing to understand, right? Like, but if you don't tell me, you know, it's kind of like making sure they're looking at things from a perspective of like understanding that you have a history and things have happened and whatever, right? But I also feel like you're in this place of like making sure that, I don't know. Like I said, like you want to vet someone. There's something around this that maybe doesn't sit right with you. Maybe they are someone who's just kind of used to being very independent, autonomous, because it does look like someone who either already has a lot going on or is putting a lot into play. Maybe they are inviting you to be on this journey, whatever this may be, right? Like, they're kind of inviting you like, hey, like, I want to collaborate. I want to like figure this out. But there's parts of it that like, I think for you are not adding up. What do you need, Sagittarius? A little more fire, a little more spark. Maybe it's almost like too practical, you know? I don't know. There's something about this energy that's just not like resonating with you 100%. And maybe you're also getting like other people to like weigh in on this. And so it's making you a little bit hesitant, right? But I don't see this person walking away. Like I said, there's something about whatever wounding you're holding onto around this situation, whether it is love and apparent wounding or just something where you didn't feel worthy, you didn't feel accepted, you didn't feel like you were able to have this kind of relationship, whether it's love or business or community, friends, you know, or even like family members that we've been cultivating a deeper sense of trust. There's part of your heart that is hurting. And I think this is helping heal that hurt is what I'm seeing. This is really helping kind of allow you to soften and to believe in people again. Unfortunately, with Sagittarius energy, we're like ready on to the next thing, like done and over. If I'm doing all these like calculations in the background and it's not really adding up to what I think it should look like, then I'm on to the next thing. And I feel like Spirit's really asking you to be a little bit more patient. I mean, like I said, this person I think is gonna surprise you. They're a little bit stubborn, more stubborn than what you're anticipating, and stubborn in the way that they're going to hold their ground. Like, they're going to be a little bit persistent. Even if in your mind you've cut this thing off or it's not an option for you anymore, or whatever that may be, this person's like, actually, I'm going to make it an option, right? I feel like you're moving into a new cycle, and it's bringing new people into your life. But I think that it's also challenging you in this way. We have dusk and the opossum, which the opossums are nocturnal, right? And I think they're blind. there's something about, sorry, I'm going to sound like a total dumbass, but there's something about their sight, right? And like, what I'm kind of hearing is like, you're going to have to perceive with your senses more than what your like present reality is telling you, right? Like, more than what you actually physically see. And it almost feels like spirit's turning off the light for you. Sorry, Sagittarius, but it does kind of feel that way, but in a good way, because it's forcing you to connect with, it's forcing you to connect with something that actually I feel it's a wish, it's a hope, it's something that you've kind of lost touch with because of whatever that wounding is. And you're feeling like you couldn't reconnect with that part of yourself, or you weren't worthy, or life has had too many years, or whatever it may be for you. Excuse me. Like, maybe you just made peace with the fact that something was never going to happen for you. And then now you actually have a chance. And you're being a little bit dicey about it. I'm not going to lie. Like, be patient. Like I said, this is not something that's going to leave you alone. It's going to be a little bit persistent. You're going to actually have to shut it down a few times over. So I'm excited. I'm excited to hear it. Definitely drop comments below if this resonated, if you found messages that resonated, or whatever this is for you. I would love to hear what you're up to, what you're doing. Thank you so much for your time, energy always. I super appreciate you, all the blessings and support that you bring to the channel. Know I'm sending love and blessings back to you.